Oh, man, this is a kid from Chicago. I mean, we're talking about the other side of Chicago. This is just remarkable. Dwayne Wade purchased the ownership stake in the Utah Jazz, now making them relevant. Everybody wanted this Utah. Not so much more. You know, this team is going to be relevant. Dwayne Wade is not going to be a guy that's going to be a silent investor. He wants to come in and take an active role, making them relevant. He's going to do some cool things with this team, this brand. I'm excited to see it. And we need to see more of this, Nick, Jenna, Wilds. We need to see more of our all-time greats taking a position in teams and taking them to the next level. Absolutely love this by D. Wade and his camp. Great job.
Yeah,
great.
Good job, Dwayne Wade. You guys ever just back into greatness by mistake? Like when you do something awesome as a result of something not awesome and then you just sort of own it? Like when I mispronounce a player's name by mistake, but it comes out as an even harder player's name to pronounce and I kind of just pat myself on the back and move on? Or when Wilds is playing in that pickup league he talks about all the time, misses the alley-oop dunk, bounces off a guy's face and goes in, and Wilds goes, blammo, textbook, meant to do it in my Lulu shorts. Well, Villanova's Dan Smith knows that feeling well. Had this acrobatic, amazing, but unplanned touchdown against Delaware. Cut this to a one-score game. Never any doubt for Dan Smith.
Might be the best throw ever.
Stumbling upon greatness. Watch the New York Jets take this guy
It might be the
at
best
number
throw
2.
ever, Jim.
Watch the Jets take him.
All right.
The sporting equivalent of having donuts in your house. You know you're not supposed to be interested, but certainly you cannot resist. Jake Paul with the knockout. Now what are we going to do? Who's Jake Paul going to fight next? I am interested. Here are some options. Canelo. That doesn't make any sense. Why would Canelo do that? Doesn't make any sense for Jake Paul either. Then people were like, well, how about Conor McGregor? Another sort of MMA fighter. McGregor's got too much money. It'd be a lose-lose for him. How about someone with a big name who would use his fame and daily platform to promote the fight, also has a sterling undefeated record. Granted, the guy has never fought before. Brandon Marshall
I know where we're going.
versus Jake Paul. I started this out as a joke, but the more I thought about it, Brandon, the more it makes sense. Would you be willing to fight Jake Paul?
It's like beating up on your younger brother. He's too little. I mean, no, it just makes no sense at all. I'm 6'5". He's not even 6'1", Wilds. He's not 6'1". He's like 5'10". Come on, you saw him in the ring yesterday,
Brandon,
2 days ago. Come on, this doesn't
You're
make any
both
sense.
heavyweights.
Way to start.
No. That's the weight class you would be in. You're both heavyweights.
Please.
Do you think
please.
you win?
He's too little.
Do you think you could beat him?
Too little.
Do you think you'd beat him?
100%. 100%. It's
Oh,
not
you hear
even
that,
a
Jake
debate.
Paul? To guarantee.
not
Oh,
a
Jake
debate.
Paul. At this point,
I was
it
with
doesn't
him
happen
last night.
because
I
Jake
saw
Paul's
Jake
scared.
last night. I was with Jake last
Really?
night. I've seen the picture. He's just too little. Yes. Wilds knows.
Oh, okay. Well, you should have punched him.
now.
You should have punched him. Get it going.
Or mention
That's a fight I wanna see.
that to Wilds this morning. Retweet or delete. Start with BYU Zach Wilson. Kirk Herbstreit came out supporting Wilson, said he has the wiring to handle the New York media market right now. He's slated to go number 2 overall to the New York Jets. So, Brandon, Zach Wilson having the toughness to compete in New York. Retweet or delete?
I'm going to have to delete this, and I'm going to delete this fast. I mean, when you look at this guy's career and, you know, some of his notable games on the road, we're talking about UMass, we're talking about Utah, Coastal Carolina. I mean, who else did he play? South Florida? I mean, this guy isn't ready for the Big Apple. You know who is? Justin Fields. Justin Fields, Big Ten, big football. Play against a lot of talent. So I'm going to delete this, Jenna, because I don't think he's ready for the Big Apple, that media market. I don't know if the guy played in front of 30,000 fans yet.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to retweet this, but my analysis is similar to Brandon's. I also would take Justin Fields. And my concerns with Zach Wilson are very simple, and it's similar to what Brandon was saying. He played 6 games in his career against a ranked team. And I don't care that his team was 2-4 because they were usually overmatched. but they were almost all some of his least productive games. 8 touchdowns, 5 picks in those 6 games against AP-ranked teams. So why am I retweeting it? Because if he doesn't succeed, I don't think it's going to be because the mean New York media eats him alive. It would be because the level of competition in any NFL market, up from BYU to the NFL, was going to be too much for him. So I'm retweeting it because I think he does have the toughness. I just don't know if he's the right player, a good enough player to justify taking it number 2. But I don't think it's going to be because Frank Isola, makes him feel bad about himself. I don't think that's it.
Love Frank.
Shout out to Frank. Okay, I'm going to bookmark this. Here's why. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna read it later. Because here's what the New York media is like. It's like fertilizer for your lawn. You put it down, oh, the grass grows. But you know what else grows? The weeds grow. Both of them get amplified. So if you have a great play like Odell Beckham, boom, one of the greatest plays of all time. But if you are a quarterback who screws up one time, that also gets magnified. That means if you're Geno Smith and you get punched in the face, or if you have the butt fumble, or if Sam Darnold's out there on the sideline saying, I see ghosts, those all get amplified. So I'm going to bookmark this one, but beware, Zach Wilson, your first screw up will be hugely amplified if you end up in the mighty, mighty New York Jets.
Kevin Wildes with the old neither retweet nor delete. Talk Zion now. He played his first pro game at Madison Square Garden last night. His Pelicans lost in overtime, but Zion gushed after the game about playing at the Garden. Take a listen.
I'm glad you asked that, actually. New York is the mecca of basketball. I love playing here. When I played here in college, and this is my first time playing here in the pros, and this atmosphere, whether they're cheering for you, whether they're booing for you, it's amazing. Honestly, I think outside of New Orleans, obviously, I think this might be my favorite place to play outside of New Orleans. I can't even lie to you. I can't lie to you.
Outside of New Orleans. Brandon, Zion's comments about loving playing in New York at the Garden. Retweet or delete?
I'm going to retweet this. We've heard this before from Kobe, from MJ, even LeBron, but this sounds a little different. New York, don't mess this up. This dude loves playing in New York. He should have been a Knick from the beginning, but on lottery night, it just didn't happen for you guys. Nick, I absolutely love this, man. There's some things we want to see in sports. We want to see the Knicks win it. We want to see the Jets win. We want to see the Cleveland Browns finally win. Don't we want to see this, Nick? This is a good story. They just can't mess this up. A couple years, they can be in prime position to go get their guy.
Yeah, I'm going to aggressively delete this. LeBron also does call the Garden the mecca of basketball. Has always talked about how much he loves playing there. And every time he's been a free agent, he has spent 0 seconds considering actually playing for them because James Dolan's the owner. Knicks fans, and more importantly, national media, this is the best Knicks team in nearly a decade. It's arguably the second best Knicks team this millennia. Let them enjoy that. Let them enjoy Julius Randle making an all-NBA push rather than be like, hey, in 2026, Zion might come here. Because that's what it would be. 2026. So I'm deleting it. I hate this story. Check back in 4 years and see if there's life to it. So dumb.
2026. Do you have an exact day on what day it is in 2026?
Yeah, July 6th. July 6th is when it could happen. 2026.
2026. Okay. I am aggressively retweeting it, and I'm adding a heart emoji. Maybe 2 heart emojis, because Zion loves New York. You know you love New York when you're saying, oh, I love the environment here. So how many people were at the Knicks game? 1,981. He's like, oh, the environment here. Less than 2,000 people, and you still loved it. So Zion, we also have an advantage for this reason. Mecca of basketball, Madison Square Garden, home of the fight of the century, Frank Sinatra in the Garden. Oh, the Pope was at the Garden.
Billy Joel.
Versus the arena that you currently play in, which is named after a smoothie. So I'm not saying Smoothie King Center. No offense. You're a basketball arena named after a smoothie versus the mecca of basketball. So Zion, welcome to New York, July 2026.
You know, when he puts